welcome to today's segment of Quick Morning, where we delve into the latest news and updates from across the country and around the world to set the tone for your day. Now, from tracking BJP releasing its manifesto for the Delhi polls to Israel and Hamas exchanging hostages in the second round. Stay tuned as we bring you the ground realities of these developments. And that's not all. We'll also be bringing you stories from the realms of business, sports and entertainment in our jam-packed line-up. So let's kickstart today's Mega News Day here on Republic, as always, with the nation first this quick morning. The BJP is set to release its manifesto today for the upcoming Delhi Assembly election. The Sankalp Patra will be released in two parts this time. The first part of the manifesto will be released by BJP National President JP Nadda, and the second part will be presented by former Union Minister Anurag Thakur. The move to release the manifesto in segments marks a shift in party's approach, allowing a more focused presentation of key issues. And our MLA Manatullah Khan refused to apologize after he threatened a Republic reporter for seeking response over his son proudly flaunting the VVIP culture following his questioning by the police. Now, Manatullah Khan's son was accused of using a modified silencer in his bike and misbehaving with cops. When confronted by Republic and asked to issue an apology, the lawmakers refused to accept that he threatened the reporter and did not apologize.
आपके बेटे बोला कि मेरा बाप मतलब विधायक है, मेरा बाप विधायक।
सुनो आप यहाँ आए हो, रिपब्लिकन टीवी से आए हो ना, भाजपा का चैनल है ना।
मैं भैया डेमोक्रेटिक चैनल
का चैनल है ना।
भाजपा का चैनल नहीं है, पब्लिक का चैनल है भैया। पब्लिक का चैनल है, इसलिए मैं आपसे आ रहा हूँ। पब्लिक का चैनल नहीं है, पब्लिक का चैनल है, इसलिए मैं आपके पास।
सुनो, मेरा बेटा विधायक का बेटा है, ये गलत बताया उसको।
इतना प्यार मिल रहा है आपको यहाँ से, आप में इतना घमंड कैसे आ जाता है?
कहाँ से आ गया घमंड? अबे तुम लोगों में घमंड है, चलो जाओ यहाँ से।
And the Mumbai police informed a court that it has to conduct facial recognition of the Bangladeshi man arrested for allegedly stabbing Saif Ali Khan last week to ascertain if he was the person seen in the CCTV footage. The accused was arrested on January 19 for allegedly breaking into the Bollywood star's residence with the intention of theft and stabbing him multiple times. The decision by the police comes after accused man's father claimed that the person seen in the CCTV footage was not his son. Father alleged that his son was arrested based on some similarities and was implicated in the case. Judicial Magistrate KC Rajput extended accused's remand till January 29, noting that further custody of him was necessary considering the nature of the offence and the progress done in the probe.
पहली बात तो इन्वेस्टिगेशन और क्वेश्चन जो रिलेटेड है एफआईआर और इंसिडेंट से एफआईआर लॉन्च करने तक बहुत सारा डिले हुआ है। इन्वेस्टिगेशन में काफ़ी कमियां आई हैं, वो इन्वेस्टिगेशन में आएगा और जैसे चार्जशीट में बताया जाएगा कि वो क्या है, मेन प्रूफ क्या है उनके खिलाफ कि वो है या नहीं। अभी मैं बेल एप्लीकेशन में अपने सब सारे जो भी डिफेंस है मैं वो प्रूफ करूँ।
And the BJP slammed the ruling Aam Adani Party in Punjab after government doctor's video purportedly highlighted the plight faced during a surgery in a hospital due to a momentary loss of electricity. The nearly 1 minute long video shows a team of doctors performing surgery on a patient. And a violent incident unfolded at a super specialty hospital in Bardhaman in West Bengal after a dispute over alleged inadequate medical care. Now, police said a group of individuals attacked doctors, hospital staff and police officers during the altercation. The situation unfolded when a young man was admitted to the hospital with a leg injury. Dissatisfied with the treatment, his family and friends became involved in a heated argument with the hospital authorities, and the authorities are now investigating the incident and steps are being taken to ensure the medical safety of medical personnel. Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri said that India would continue buying crude oil from Russia if it is available at a discount, emphasizing that the government is committed to buying the most economically priced crude oil. Hailing Prime Minister Modi's commitment to make energy available around the clock in the most affordable manner, he said that the government was open to entering both the long-term as well as spot deals with oil-producing countries. And India said that it expects the UK to take strong and appropriate action against anti-India elements allegedly involved in disrupting the screenings of Kangana Ranaut's new film Emergency in the country. Now, this comes after reports arise of disruption of screening of the movie in northwest London, Wolverhampton, Birmingham, Slough, Staines and Manchester.
The film Emergency, which was being screened in several halls, was being obstructed. We consistently raise concerns with the UK government regarding incidents of violent protests and intimidation by anti-India elements. Freedom of speech and expression cannot be applied selectively, and those obstructing it must be held accountable. We hope the UK side will take appropriate action against those responsible.
And up next, Union Minister Prahlad Joshi claimed that it was India's first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru who insulted B.R. Ambedkar and even joined hands with the left parties to defeat him in elections. His remarks come in the wake of Congress's continuous accusations against the BJP of disrupting constitutional principles and insulting Ambedkar. The Union Minister further alleged that Nehru never wanted Ambedkar in the government. It was only due to the insistence of Mahatma Gandhi that he was included.
Nehru, SK Patil, Dange decided that they would do all that was required, use whatever the strategy suited for the occasion, but they are determined not to let Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar win. When he was alive, when he was giving such a great service to the country, he was insulted because Nehru was feeling that he may become my competitor. Congress party was feeling that if Baba Saheb Ambedkar become popular.
And now moving on, viewers, we bring you the top stories for the day from India's economic landscape, from JP Morgan warning about economic challenges being faced by emerging markets amid President Trump's America First policies, to Ola and Uber responding to allegations of fare discrepancies. Stay tuned as we delve into the key highlights shaping the business world today. India's largest passenger vehicle maker, Maruti Suzuki, is reportedly working on an ambitious project to launch an affordable electric car under the Rs 10 lakh price bracket. To be positioned below the recently revealed e-Vitara, the mass market EV is understood to be introduced in the next 2 years. And unlike the e-Vitara that will be retailed at Nexa outlets, the sub-Rs 10 lakh e-car will be sold across its arena showrooms, revealed the source. Now, speculation is also rife that a badge-engineered version of this model will also be sold by Toyota Kirloskar Motor. And investment bank JP Morgan has issued a stark warning about the economic challenges facing emerging markets amid President Trump's America First policies. According to the latest research, EM economies outside China witnessed net capital outflows amounting to $19 billion in the last quarter, with an additional $10 billion expected in the first quarter of the next year. The phenomena known as a sudden stop could severely hamper growth prospects for these economies, which heavily rely on external investments. And cab-hailing platforms Ola and Uber have responded to the allegations of fare discrepancies based on the type of mobile phone used and have responded firmly denying these allegations. These platforms have become the hot topic for discussion lately, as they have been charging enormously, with the allegations that depending on the type of phone used for the fares differ for an Android and an iOS user. As a result, Ola and Uber had both received notices from India's Central Consumer Protection Authority, and this action was directed by the Consumer Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi himself and was followed by several media reports and consumer complaints alleging price disparities between Android and iOS users. The Adani Group, led by Gautam Adani, has refuted claims that Sri Lanka officially revoked its power purchase agreement with the Indian conglomerate due to corruption allegations. The group has clarified that reports suggesting the cancellation of its wind power projects in Sri Lanka are misleading. The statement further clarified that the Sri Lankan cabinet's decision on January 2 to reevaluate the tariff approved in May 2024 is a standard procedure. It is common for new governments to review energy agreements to ensure that terms align with current priorities and policies. The group reassured that Adani remains committed to its investment in Sri Lanka's green energy sector. And moving on to our international segment, where we are tracking the ground pulse of some of the biggest global headlines. Today, we delve into significant developments from around the world, from Russian drone killing 3 in Kyiv to Russian President Putin claiming to be ready of talking to Trump over ending the war. Stay tuned as we bring you these stories and many more from across the world. Her damage could be seen in Northern Ireland as a major storm continued to lash Ireland and Scotland for hurricane-force winds. Now, forecasters issued a red weather warning, meaning danger to life, across the whole island of Ireland and central and southwest Scotland. Millions of people were urged to stay indoors, with schools closed and trains, ferries and hundreds of flights being cancelled as the winter storm spiraled in from the Atlantic. More than 700,000 homes and businesses in Ireland and almost 100,000 in Northern Ireland were left without power. And a 10-story apartment building in Ukraine's Kyiv was hit with a Russian drone, killing at least 3 and injuring 1. Rescue operations continued as emergency workers carried on searches for more survivors. The attacks struck several private houses, shops in the vicinity of the 10-story building. And as the war approaches the 3-year mark, Russia continues to step up its air attacks on Ukraine, sending dozens of drones almost every night. And as the Israel-Hamas ceasefire deal enters the 6th day, the Palestinian group announced the names of 4 Israeli hostages to be released. This is the second round of exchange of Palestinian prisoners and Israeli hostages following the release of 3 Israeli women and 90 Palestinian prisoners on the first day of the ceasefire. And up next, Russian President Putin has said that he is ready to talk to the new US President Donald Trump over the end of the Ukraine war. The war has galvanized Europe and US since Moscow unleashed its special military operation on Ukraine on 24th February in 2022. Since then, the war has been prolonged for 2 years, with the Ukraine war entering its 3rd year and both the US and Russian leaders converging on the need to end the bloodshed and destruction. The world now awaits for positive results, bringing the curtail over the bloodbath. Now, tens of thousands of protesters gathered at squares and streets across Slovakia to voice their opposition to the pro-Russian policies of populist Prime Minister Robert Fico. The latest wave of anti-government rallies were fueled by Fico's recent trip to Moscow to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Fico's recent remarks over a possibility to change Slovakia's foreign policy orientation and leave the European Union and NATO were among other recent steps by the Prime Minister that fueled the anger of the protesters. And President Donald Trump traveled to hurricane-ravaged North Carolina and vowed his speedy support on its months-long recovery from Hurricane Helene. Now, while speaking with local residents, he criticized former President Joe Biden for his administration's response to Helene in North Carolina. Trump said that he was considering getting rid of the Federal Emergency Management Agency, offering the latest sign of how is he going to weigh on sweeping changes to the nation's central organization for responding to disasters.
We'll marshal all available resources to bring back potable water and make your water and infrastructure dramatically more reliable very quickly. Today, I'll also be signing an executive order slashing all red tape and bureaucratic barriers and permits to ensure the rapid reconstruction of the roads here in western North Carolina. We're going to go through a permitting process that's called no permitting, just get it done.
And Oregon Church is preparing to provide sanctuary to people lacking legal status who risk being removed from the country under President Trump's plans to conduct mass deportations. Now, while voicing concerns, refugees said that they felt unsafe under the new Trump administration and that they don't want his family living in fear.
New administration coming in for the migrant community, and I don't feel safe. Not only because immigration could take in custody any time, but also the racism that it's coming out.
Up next, the United Nations suspended all travel into areas held by Yemen's Houthi rebels after more of their staff were detained by the rebels. The Houthis have already detained UN staffers as well as individuals associated with the once open US embassy in Sana'a, Yemen's capital, and aid groups. Now, the measure will remain in place until further notice. UN has now demanded the immediate and unconditional release of all UN personnel and partners.
You will have seen that in a statement issued this morning by the Office of the Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator in Yemen, that the de facto authorities in Sana'a detained additional UN personnel working in areas under their control.
And President Trump says he won't feel partially responsible if harm befalls former government officials whose security were cut by his administration after he took office this week. Trump revoked the security detail of Dr. Anthony Fauci, the infectious disease expert who advised Trump on the COVID-19 pandemic, but turned critical of him once he tried to undermine public health guidance. He faced regular threats to his life and has received federal protection for years, but it was ended this week, according to a person familiar with the matter.
No, I think, when you work for government, at some point your security detail comes off. And, you can't have them forever. So I think it's very standard. If it would be for somebody else, you wouldn't be asking the question.
Let's delve into stories from sports now. We're also going to bring you updates on India opener Abhishek Sharma, who's now facing an injury scare ahead of the second T20I against England. That and more in this update from the sports news. India opener Abhishek Sharma faced an injury scare ahead of the second T20I against England as he twisted his ankle during the catching drill at nets. Subsequently, Abhishek was checked by team physiotherapist on the field before retreating to the dressing to give rest to his ankle. Mohammad Shami's much-awaited return to top-flight cricket did not receive too many supporting signals during the seasoned Pacers' nearly hour-long stint of varying intensity at the India nets. Shami, whose last appearance in India colours was during the 2023 World Cup final, worked hard on finding his bowling rhythm at the Chipok, but never really hit his flowing peak, which makes him a tough customer for batters. India spinner Varun Chakravarti equated the standards of Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy to IPL and said cricketers should turn out more in the domestic tournament to improve their playing smarts in the T20 format. Chakravarti played a vital role in India's 7-wicket triumph over England in the first T20I at Kolkata, picking up 3 wickets. Sri Lanka have named their squad for the upcoming 2-match Warren Murali Test Series against Australia starting from January 29. The Lankan Lions have injury concerns in their camp but have named all 3 who have injury issues, including the captain Dhananjay Ayada Silva alongside Dhananjaya Kamindu Mendisa and Pathum Nisanka are also having injury issues, with Nisanka being the least likely one to feature in the first test among these 3. And Rishabh Pant has made it to India's 15-member squad for the upcoming Champions Trophy starting February 19. There were doubts regarding his participation as a portion of the team management preferred Sanju Samson, While Captain Rohit Sharma and Chief Selector Ajit Agarkar believed in Pant's capabilities and selected him, Zaheer Khan, Pant's mentor at Lucknow Super Giants, nevertheless believes that the cricketer can be the X factor for Team India in the marquee competition. Shardul slammed his second first-class century in the Ranji Trophy 6th round clash against Jammu and Kashmir to put Mumbai back in the hunt to win the game at the Sharad Pawar Cricket Academy BKC in Mumbai. The bowling all-rounder came in to bat at number 8 with his team reeling at 91 for 6 in the second innings with a meager lead of 7 runs. Now, just like in the first innings, Shardul found the support from Tanush Kotia as the duo brought Mumbai back on track for a win. And Djokovic withdrew from the Final Four clash after losing the opening set in a tiebreaker 7-5 due to a torn muscle in his left leg, leaving Rod Laver Arena to a chorus of boos. There had been doubt about the record 24-time Grand Slam champion's fitness after he initially suffered the injury during his 4-set quarterfinal triumph over Carlos Alcaraz. And it's time now to track the buzz and delve into the world of entertainment. Today we bring you highlights from Oscar nominations where Brazilians are overjoyed and overenjoyed after the motion picture I'm Still Here received 3 Oscar nominations. This and more as we unravel the key highlights shaping the entertainment industry this morning. The head of Japan's Fuji television network announced plans on Friday for an independent investigation into sexual misconduct allegations against one of the country's top celebrities and company officials suspected involvement. Now, Mahiro Nakai, a former member of the SMAP boy band who is now a popular TV host at the network, has been linked by local media reports to allegations of sexual assault at a party which it is alleged was arranged by a member of the staff at Fuji TV. The issue has had negative effects on the television company's share price and led to one of its largest shareholders writing a letter expressing concerns over its corporate governance. And Kate Moss and Gwendoline Christie were some of the guests at the Dior Home show on Friday. Singer Romy, South Korean actor Lam Jo-hyuk and Thai actors Mail Pakhoom and Rom Saithong and Apo Natawin were among the guests. Brazilians have been overjoyed after the motion picture I'm Still Here received 3 Oscar nominations on Thursday. The Best Film, the Best International Feature and the Best Actress for its lead, Fernanda Torres. The announcement quickly trended on social media and sparked a flood of memes, including jokes about organizing a national caravan to the Oscars. And that's a wrap on this segment of Quick Morning, but stay tuned to Republic News and updates continue right after the break.